Hi everyone, I'm Osabo, and I'm a product design lead on the Horizon Worlds team. This talk will provide you with an overview of Horizon creation tools and examples of things you can do out of the box and worlds we've seen the community build. The reason why I'm giving this talk is because we want you to join us in Horizon and build worlds with us. In Richard Bartle's book on designing virtual worlds, they define virtual worlds as places where the imaginary meets the real. Building a virtual world is one of the most creative things a person can do, and Horizon has the tools to do this. Horizon has the tools to help anyone bring their virtual worlds to life. VR creation tools are one of the things that excite me the most about the medium. As a designer, I've used 2D and 3D creation tools that are primarily used on computers. I've always found 3D creation tools harder to understand because they try to take spatialized concepts and help people reason through them on 2D screens. When I discovered VR creation tools like Medium and Quill, my mind was blown because creating felt so natural and intuitive. Finally, I was creating 3D objects in the medium they were designed for. Creating 3D in 3D just makes sense. And Horizon takes the idea of creating and experiencing to the next level. Horizon is an ever-expanding VR world to explore, play, and create. Some of my best experiences in VR have been creating in Horizon, whether it's building a game show experience and hosting it with friends weekly, inspecting how a friend made a hide-and-go-seek world, or zapping teammates in laser tag after a tutorial session. In Horizon, there's so much to do. The possibilities are endless. We've been working on Horizon for the past couple of years, gradually opening up the experience so more people can try what we have to offer and build compelling experiences with us. Whether you're an artist, designer, developer, or anyone generally interested in creating in 3D or VR, Horizon has the tools to bring your ideas to life. There's one thing I want you to take away from this talk. Horizon creator tools are dynamic, collaborative, and there's a supportive community of people to build with and learn from. If you weren't aware, everything in Horizon is made in Horizon. Right now, Horizon Creation Mode consists of tools you can use to create objects for your environment, style them, make them interactive with scripting, and tools for sharing your creation. But that's not all. One of the most fun parts about Horizon Creation Tools is that you can build with up to 4 people at the same time. To get started with building in Horizon, you can create a new world from your Horizon menu, and from there, you can select a blank world or one of our templates, whether it's rich, simple, or scripted. Scripted templates give you a head start on creating a sports, narrative, player versus player, or puzzle game. There's even a template world for premium mechanics, so you can make things like throwing or shooting feel very good in your worlds. I'm going to give you an overview of the tools, so let's take a look at one of the worlds that I've made. This is the Galaxy Game Show world, an experience made in Horizon Creation Tools in collaboration with 3D artist John Lomax and prototyper Vu Ha. In the context of this world, I'll walk through some possibilities with the creation tools. But once again, don't forget, you can add other people as collaborators to your world. When you enter the creation tools, you start in preview mode. You can move around like you normally would in any other Horizon world. To create or edit a world, you just move your joystick down on your right hand. And then you'll be able to add objects to your world, zoom in and out of them, and rotate the world around you. You can access objects to add to your world in your Create menu. You can directly or indirectly select different shapes, sounds, and gizmos to add to your world. For gizmos, we have different components that include triggers, doors, text, spawn points, sound recordings, particle and trail effects, environment, and scripts. You can access the properties for each gizmo by putting your right hand in the gizmo and flicking your joystick up. Script is the most important gizmo you'll need to make your world interactive in Horizon, but we'll come back to that soon. And for sound, you can add effects, background sounds, and music. Next, you can style your world. Color palettes, materials, whether it's solid, unlit, glow, metal, or plastic, and most recently, textures. The World tab is where you can access publishing information. You can give your world a title, description, give it a comfort setting, and specify how many players you want in your world. And of course, you can give it a photo. To publish your world, it must be within the capacity standards in Horizon, which you can see in your capacity tab in your menu. The script tab is where you can access console information for the scripts running in your world. And last is settings, where you can access build, comfort, and player settings for your world. Now that we've taken a look at what the Create menu has to offer, let's take a look at scripting. First, add a script gizmo to your world. You can access your code block editor by moving your right joystick into the code block, flick your joystick up to access the properties, and you'll be able to see your editor where you can access events, motion, actions, operators, values, and variables. Since this world is in space, I'll give you an overview of how you can use scripting to make it so when a person grabs an object in the world, they're in zero gravity when they jump. And from this, you'll be able to understand how to use events to affect attributes for a player in the world. Using your code block editor, first, we're going to give the script a name. You can call it zero grav. In the editor, add an event that says when object is grabbed by player. Next, in the motion tab, we'll add a code block that says set blank gravity to 9.8. Player's default settings are 9.8 for gravity in Horizon worlds, so we can change this to 2. Then, the player variable in the when object is by player code block, drag it into the set gravity code block. Now, we can close the editor and open the properties panel for the object we want to attach the script to. If you go into preview mode and grab the object and jump, you'll notice that we're in zero gravity. However, if you release the ball and keep jumping, you're still in zero gravity. So let's open up the editor and go back to the scripting mode, where you can add a code block that says one object is released by player. Then we can duplicate the second code block that's nested and say, set gravity to the original value, which is 9.8. If the player grabs the object and releases it as they normally would in Horizon, then they jump at a gravity setting that's 9.8. We can do things that are similar by attaching players to objects or with triggers. Next, we're going to review how to make a player respawn by making it so when a person walks into a trigger, they teleport to the balcony area. First, we're going to go back to our Gizmos tab and add a trigger gizmo to the world. People use trigger gizmos to make it so when a player or object enters a specific area, an event happens. Now, add a spawn gizmo to the world that represents the size of the player where they respawn. Now, open your code block editor and open the properties for the script. First, we can give the script a name. We can call it respawn. Then, we can add a code block that says when blink enters trigger. We can add a respawn action to this code block. In the blink section, add the player variable from the world. Then, from the variables tab, we add a new object that says target dust. This is where the player will respawn in the world. Next, we can grab our variable and add the respawn code block. Let's close our editor and attach the player respawn to the script. In the attach script section, select the respawn script. Last, we need to attach the respawn to the trigger by opening the respawn's property panel and dragging it into the target dust variable. And that's all. Now, if we move into the area, it'll take the player to the balcony. These are a few of the many things you can do in Horizon Creation Tools. We've seen our talented community of creators building a variety of worlds ranging from games, events, and hangout experiences. If you're looking for additional guidance on Horizon Creation Tools, check out the tutorials in your menu. Join our community Facebook group and ask questions, and there's constantly tutorials being shared there. And of course, online, you can take a look at our documentation on our website. Now that we've gone over some basic building and scripting, I want to make sure you remember one of the best parts of Horizon: collaboration. You can add other people to your world as a collaborator or tester. Collaborators of your world can duplicate it and build on top of it. We've seen some community members using assets and scripts from other people's worlds to build more complex games and experiences throughout Horizon. Let's take a look at some examples we've seen the community build together. For games, we've seen first-person shooters like Retro Zombies and Action Island from Sandwich. Retro Zombies is a wave shooter game where players team up to defeat zombies in the infested city. Action Island is a battle royale game where players can equip themselves with different guns and fight against each other to get the highest score. And similarly, there's Zap Zap Laser Tag by Wafflecopters, another great example of an FPS game where you have different game modes, and you can capture tokens, of course, if you have enough wins to actually change the game. For puzzles, we've seen Wake the Robot, an experience by Victor Riddell that shows a great example of visual fidelity in the tools and how you can use objects to trigger different actions to happen in the world. We've seen puzzle game worlds like Wordwalker by Jeff CS. In this experience, players have up to 6 letters. They must spell words by walking into each letter and jumping to submit a word. If they guess right, it'll appear in front of them. They can play alone or with others. And of course, there's spectators. You can give suggestions from the stands. For events, we've seen World Tours, the monthly Woman in VR meetup, and LGBTQ meetup with friends. World Tours is a weekly event where community members, Oculus and Lakes 5, guide tours of different worlds in Horizon and interview creators to learn more about their experiences. This is a great opportunity for new community members to see what Horizon has to offer and learn from other creators. The Woman in VR meetup is run by Nava K, where people can learn about the experience of different women in the community creating in Horizon, what inspires them, and what experiences are in social VR. The LGBTQ and Friends meetup is by Chris LGBTQ and is an event that welcomes the community and allies to meet and converse in VR. It's a great community and safe space to make new friends, open up to others, and discuss different topics from around the world. And last is our team's very own scripting office hours, hosted in Horizon every week, where you have the ability to get tactical support and get unstuck on building your world. But there's one more. I want to talk about mini games in Horizon. Some examples are Air Dragons, Risky Waters, and Hungry Birdies, all part of our World Top experience. Air Dragons is an experience where you can race dragons through different hoops to get points. Risky Waters, you're on a ship with other players where you can throw different objects at enemies to defeat them in the water. Hungry Birdies is an experience where each player gets a bird on a stick that they use to eat worms and feed their baby bird. The person with the most worms at the end of the round wins. These are some of the experiences that you'll see in Horizon, but there's so much more. Worlds in Horizon will not be like the ones that you see today. We're still early in the journey and want you to join our community as we discover, explore, and build our imaginations to life. If you haven't yet, take a look at our Creator Accelerator program if you have what it takes to be a top creator in Horizon. Also, don't forget, watch Lisa Kateki's panel so you can learn more about the experience of creating in Horizon from other community members. Thank you for listening, and thank you to the team of people at Horizon working on creation tools and experiences that really push the boundaries of what's possible in VR creation tools. And of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.